What's up, guys? I'm Rose, and I'm on a mission to live my greenest life possible. For the last couple of years, I've been doing a lot of reading and a lot of research because I'm very passionate about the environment, about preventing climate change, about making positive changes that are encouraging and practical because so much of what I've read in the green movement is just really not that practical for the average family. And I have tried out several upcycling projects. I've talked about food, reducing food waste, clothing, and how we should shop resale, things that we can do differently. And today I'm focusing on paper. So I've been doing a lot of reading about paper and how to reduce our paper waste, and this is some of what I've learned. This is my great big huge stack of paper that I need to go through. And I was actually very surprised to find out that about 70% of the paper in the United States gets recycled. I thought that's actually pretty good. I was impressed. I guess I have such a pessimistic view of recycling in this country that I just assumed the number would be much lower. But I've learned a lot through my research about paper, what you can recycle, what you cannot recycle, and the best way to reduce our paper waste. So here are 10 tips for cutting back on paper waste. Number one is to do a paper audit. That means go through, see where you're using the most paper, get some ideas about how you can cut back on the paper waste. Cutting back is one of the best things that you can do. And so these are some of the tips for making that happen. Buying green paper products. I've been doing a lot of reading about hemp. And if anybody out there knows anything about having your own hemp paper business, I would love to learn more about it because it sounds like it's going to be the next big thing. It's so much better than traditional paper for a lot of reasons. It doesn't result in deforestation because, as we know, we need trees if we're going to combat climate change. It's more recyclable. It uses less chemicals. It lasts longer. It absorbs more CO2. Like, there's all sorts of benefits to hemp paper. There's also several green companies that specialize in greener paper practices, so hemp-based, stone-based seed paper, recycled paper. There are some debates about the energy usage involved in recycling paper, but the EPA has some opinions on this, which I'll share in just a moment. One of the best things you can do is to just switch to online. All of my bills, all of my banking, everything is electronic now. I try to do as much as I can digitally. Now, I don't think I'm ever going to prefer ebooks to traditional paper books. I love books. I like holding them. I've actually gotten pretty big into audiobooks lately, but I think it's important to remember that when we're encouraging people to live a greener life, we should be positive and encouraging, like not shaming people for choosing a book over an ebook, for instance, because I just don't think it's helpful to have a negative attitude about it. So these are just suggestions. If you haven't unsubscribed from junk mail, I strongly encourage you to do it because it is just so obnoxious. There's a website that offers step-by-step instructions about how to do that. And I'm so glad that I did because I was getting a ton of credit card offers and insurance offers and a lot of other stuff, and it was just so obnoxious. I pulled up a list in my research of different types of paper that cannot be recycled, and that's actually another point I'm going to talk about in a moment, is recycling. And when you choose organic options, for instance, organic wax paper that has an organic lining like beeswax, that you can put in the compost bin. But if it's lined with like the plastic lining, you can't do it. You can't recycle it and you can't compost it. So when possible, choose organic options. But let's talk a little bit about recycling. So, according to the EPA, recycled paper requires 40% less energy to make than virgin paper. And this is significant because a lot of people will say it's not worth the trouble, you're just using up a lot more energy. But the data shows differently. Now, what can you recycle? I was surprised to find out you can recycle magazines. I thought that because of the kind of plasticky lining that they weren't recyclable, but it's called glossy paper. It's different. You can totally recycle it. Now, different recycling centers have different rules, so you have to check into it, maybe call the recycling center that does your trash in your local area because some people take things and others don't. But apparently, newspapers, magazines, mail, just make sure your personal information is not on the mail. Paper bags, greeting cards, phone books. Most types of cardboard products are totally recyclable, unless they have food on them. Now, which items are not recyclable? And what do we do with these? So there are alternative uses for these. So if it can't be recycled, maybe you can repurpose it. So let me show you some of what you can do. Napkins, tissues, paper towels, these items can go in the compost bin. So if they can break down over time, they can be composted. Just make sure that it's got food scraps and not harmful chemicals. You don't want harmful chemicals in your compost bin. Unfortunately, receipts cannot be recycled because they're printed on thermal paper. I tend to just burn them. And I also did a little bit of reading about that, and I would love to get your opinion about it. So, burning paper and burning cardboard is a little bit controversial, and I haven't been able to find a clear-cut answer as to whether or not this is a harmful practice environmentally. Based on what I've read, recycling your paper and your cardboard is the best thing you can do, unless you live in a rural area and you're not close to any kind of recycling center, and it would require a lot of transporting. Of course, some things shouldn't be burned. You shouldn't burn things that have the plastic and the metal lining on it. But I do tend to burn my receipts just to get rid of them. And when possible, to just not get a receipt at all, I tried to go digital when possible. Shredded paper is not supposed to go in the recycling bin, but it makes for great packing. And then sticky notes, things with residue, with plastic or aluminum lining, don't use these when possible, because unfortunately they cannot be recycled. And then finally, anything with food on it. So pizza boxes, these are a lot of fun to burn in my opinion, because the inside is just coated in grease and it goes up in flames so easily. So cutting back and reducing the amount of paper that you use by going electronic, getting digital receipts is one of the best things you can do, because then you don't have to worry about recycling at all. Reusing paper, for instance, do you use both sides of the paper? Or if you have to print something, do you print it on both sides? And repurposing. So this is what I want to do the most. I'm very interested in upcycling. I want to find solutions for items that cannot be recycled. Finally, spread the word. Encourage your friends, encourage your family. If your workplace doesn't have a recycling bin and doesn't recycle paper, maybe consider talking to the boss and see if you can have one put in the office. I'm going to keep trying to cut back on my paper use, and I would love to hear any of your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you for more upcycling projects and green living tips. Bye-bye.